You could be sabotaging your weight loss journey if you continue to make these 5 mistakes. Welcome back, Weight Warriors. If you're someone who's on a fat loss journey like I am, or you're planning to start one, you're in the right place. I'm Mike. I'm a fat guy trying not to be fat anymore by making lifestyle changes and documenting the progress. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the world of TDEE, which, as you know, is the total daily energy expenditure. And we're going to explore some of the common myths or really mistakes that people may make, or you might be making, I know I've made in the past, that have sabotaged my weight loss goals. So let's kick it off with mistake number 1, which is overestimating your activity level. It's common for us to think that we're more active than we really are, especially when we're trying to lose weight. We might overestimate the number of steps that we take in a day or how intense our workouts really are. But the problem is when you overestimate your activity level, we end up overestimating our caloric needs. This can lead to consuming too many calories, which can stall the weight loss progress or even cause us to gain weight, which is not good. I mean, unless it's muscle, but we're trying to lose fat here, at least if you're me, or like me, trying to lose weight and lose fat. So a good way to figure out your activity level is to use a fitness tracker or a smartwatch or even a pedometer for keeping steps to be more accurate, to get a more accurate picture of how much you're actually moving in a day. Again, this is important when you're using your TDEE calculation that it matches the actual results of your actual activity level. Being honest with yourself is part of this journey, and I know that I personally have kind of, I don't want to say lied to myself, but I say like, oh no, I'm pretty active, when you really getting to know the truth of this is part of the best things that you can do to ensure success. All right, let's talk about mistake number 2, relying too heavily on the TDEE calculators. Again, as I mentioned before, how easily this calculator can accidentally be influenced and influence the number of calories that you're eating in a day. Don't get me wrong, the TDEE calculators can be a very useful tool to get a general idea of how many calories we need to be consuming. But the problem comes in when you rely too heavily on them and treat them as like they're the holy grail of weight loss, or like this is the absolute number that I need to be at. The truth is, TDEE calculators are not 100% accurate. They use generalized formulas to estimate our caloric needs based on a lot of factors like age, gender, height, weight, activity level. Again, that one could be influenced. But even like different body frames and body types can totally impact TDEE. But the formulas don't take into account things like individual metabolic rates, medical conditions, hormonal imbalances, and all these things can affect our caloric needs. That's why it's important not to just solely rely on the TDEE calculators and be aware of their limitations. It's also important to listen to your body. At least, I'm trying to listen to my body and adjust caloric intake based on how I'm feeling and really the weight loss progress, which is why I keep track of daily tracker to kind of measure my trend rather than just look at peaks and valleys through the process. Remember, weight loss is not a one-size-fits-all approach, and it requires some experimentation and a lot of self-awareness. So don't get too caught up in the numbers of the TDEE calculator. Use them as a general guide, but really listen to your body and adjust accordingly. Next up, we have mistake number 3, using inaccurate formulas. There's not a lot of them, luckily, I will say, online, but I did find a couple in search. But there are a lot of different ways that you can calculate TDEE or TDEE formulas out there that claim to be the most accurate. The truth is, no formula is perfect for everyone. They're all kind of an estimate. Some formulas might work better for different people or different body types or activity levels, while others may not take into account certain information or factors like muscle mass and, again, metabolic rate. So it's, again, important to remember that TDEE formulas are just estimates, general tools to be used. With that said, it is important to use a reputable TDEE formula and make sure you're inputting accurate information about your body and activity level. Don't just blindly follow a formula you found on a random website without doing a little bit of research. So don't just rely on some weird uncommon TDEE formula and assume that it's the most accurate for you because you like the number that it shows you. Guilty. Or at least I say I'm guilty of that. Do your research, track your progress, and make adjustments as needed. Mistake number 4 is not liking and subscribing to the Weight Warriors channel. Ring the bell so you're notified of upcoming videos. This is a big one, and seriously, I really would appreciate it, and it really helps with the algorithm. So like I said, if you're enjoying this content, if this helps you, please comment down below, like the video, and subscribe for more content. Okay, moving on to the real number 4. This one probably causes a lot of weight loss plateaus, actually, but it's the neglecting to recalculate your TDEE as you lose weight. When you first start your weight loss journey, you're going to be at the highest weight that you'll have been at. You'll likely pretty easily be able to hit a calorie deficit, meaning you're burning more calories than you're consuming. But as you lose weight, your body's energy needs will change, much like your weight will change. So you'll need to adjust your caloric intake accordingly. If you don't adjust your caloric intake as you lose weight, you might hit a plateau where you're no longer seeing results, or worse, you could start gaining back some of that weight if you're doing things improperly. That's why it's important to regularly recalculate your TDE and adjust your caloric intake to reflect your changing body composition. Also, if you want to learn more about what a caloric deficit is, TDEE, or some of the other stuff regarding calories, macros, I have other videos that dive deeper into those topics, linked down below. A good rule of thumb is to recalculate your TDEE every 10 to 15 pounds of weight lost, or every 4 to 6 weeks, to ensure that you're staying on top of it and you're still in a caloric deficit or making progress towards your weight loss goals. But remember, weight loss is not a linear process. There'll be ups and downs along the way. Don't get discouraged if you hit a plateau or your progress slows down. Just keep making adjustments, staying consistent with your diet and your exercise routine. And also remember not to stress your body out for too much, too long in a caloric deficit. Again, check out that video on that, but essentially 16 weeks. Don't be in a caloric deficit for more than about 16 weeks. Now let's tackle the fifth and final mistake, setting unrealistic goals. Look, I get it. I want to see results, but it's important to set realistic goals for ourselves that, again, are achievable and not just like medically detrimental to our long-term health. If you set unrealistic goals, you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment and frustration, which can lead to giving up altogether. For example, if you set a goal to lose 10 pounds a week, that's simply not realistic or healthy. It's important to remember that healthy and sustainable weight loss takes time and effort. Instead, set smaller, more achievable goals that will help keep your momentum and keep you disciplined. For example, aim to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week for about 16 weeks. But really, if I'm talking goals, don't aim to lose any weight, meaning don't base your goals around the scale. Base your goals around your exercise and your nutrition. So base your goal around exercising for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. These smaller goals are really achievable and help you stay on track towards your larger weight loss goal. It's also important to celebrate the progress along the way, no matter how small. Like if you track stuff, it's easy to find little wins every single day. Recognize those achievements and be proud of yourself for sticking to the plan and making positive changes in your life. Now, I got a bonus. I said I'd do 5. I'm going to give you an extra. Here's the bonus tip. Don't forget to consult a healthcare professional when starting your weight loss journey. While using a TDE calculator to create a caloric deficit can be an effective method for weight loss, it's important to do things in a safe and healthy way.